This is a glitch that's happening on Uber Eats, and it's kind of a very wild one because people are just kind of like going off the rails, ordering all kinds of food and stuff like that. But I want to take this particular story and tell a little bit of a story time of what might have happened to be a kidnapping or a robbing that almost happened to me. And somebody later on giving me advice that actually landed me in a position where I realized, you know what, I had the right advice. And this particular story kind of fits into that. I wanted to tell it to you guys. And please, if you're out there and you see this video, you can share it out to your WhatsApp. Let people be aware that there is this type of a thing that might be there. It might get people in trouble, and people might be charged up all kinds of monies that they don't have because of a glitch. It's Ricky. Let's get it. It's been about 12 hours from the time when I heard about the story, and I haven't seen anything. If you have, you can give us an update down in the comment section, or when you see a pinned comment, you can comment down there what the situation was and what's going to happen. Because personally, I do not think that this will be left untouched. It will cause all kinds of problems. And I wanted to just bring this out so that parents are aware of this. So there is a glitch. Seems like it was on Uber Eats. These guys, they just found that the app was glitching on making the payment. And so the order will go through without actually requesting payment. And so what they were doing is they were loading the card, loading the location for delivery, and then the food be delivered, but the money would have not gone through. I wanted to explain why this can become a problem, why we as parents have a responsibility to educate our kids on the world they are in. This is a crazy world. It's only getting worse. It's getting crazier. That's what the Bible says, woe is unto you who have children, because it's kind of crazy having a child in this particular day and age. They didn't realize that no, there is no such thing. It can never be free food. First of all, it costs the people that make the food money. They have to pay their employees. And so they will have to cover the cost of the food on top of that. If they're doing sampling, it will be in person and so forth, or they either be mailing or whatever method different companies use to give people samples of their food. You remember there was a lot of that, particularly when you would have all gold products, they will have like a small little sample of it. And so you get a taste and you're like, okay, I like this. And then people like brands of butter and so forth, like all those things, they would have like a small version, and then they allow you to put it in. Then sauce, particularly, they would do it in shops in the mid section. So when you get there, you are able to get a thing, but it's not in this type of access. The food that is being ordered over there, tables were full of KFC food and all kinds. It was just wild. There was all kinds of videos. First of all, the bank account associated, they might have not charged it, but the Uber has this thing. Even Uber, the one for the car, it does have points when it would miss a transaction or something, and then it will charge it later on. Some people might have charged up the card to about $2,000 because the food that they are taking, you see the pizzas, you see the you see the KFC full thingy, you see bucket and upwards of 1,500 to 2,000. That someone's card is going to have to be charged later on. And bear in mind, the people that ate with them might not be charged. It's the person who charged the card. Now, if it's a child of a certain parent, the parent might be liable to paying for it. Already, when you request the food, you request it to a certain location. So they already know where you at. You request it on a certain card. So it associates a certain person who ordered this food, who made this order on this day, because they've never been exposed to the working environment, right? They've never been in that particular space. Now, I wanted to use that to tell a particular, in line with educating young people in the world that they live in. I was passing through Park Station one day, and there was this guy. He was wearing a suit, carrying a briefcase. He just looked like an everyday guy, just coming from work or something. And he walked up to me and he said, "Hey, you good?" And I'm good. By those days, I used to I used to ride skateboard. So I was coming from Newtown, uh, in the library area, the Joburg CBD library area, because that area used to have a lot of skaters used to skate in those areas. Question me, hey, you good? You sure? Is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, everything's good. I'm chilled. And then he says, do you need anything? I can be of help. And that came off a little bit. Oh, okay, this is weird. That's how it came off. It came off as this is weird. And this guy, he just continued talking. Like he talked, and he then, I can help you if you're having a situation at home, maybe they're not treating you well. I can give you accommodation. I can show you what it looks like. Like even the offer of wanting me to look at it, I was like, I'm not interested in looking at anything. I'm good where I'm from. I have a very happy family. Okay. So I'm looking at this guy. It was just weird. I'm talking about back then when he kept offering, kept offering, kept offering. Now, where does this take me to? It takes me back to my uncle's advice. When I first came to Joburg, my uncle's advice was this: never take anything from anybody. Which is kind of like what they say about people going to jail. Never take anything from anybody. Because you take anything from anybody, you owe them and you might get in trouble with that. And so my uncle used to say this, and in Joburg, just never take anything from anybody because you never know. And so this guy comes offering all these things, and I'm immediately like, why does this seem weird? Okay, fine. I think a few weeks went by. A few weeks went by, and I'm back home. I can't remember who was telling me this because so long ago, right? And then this person starts describing something. It's like, hey man, there's a lot of things that are happening in the city, and we were just talking about something else, and he brought this subject in. It's like, yeah, there's a lot going on around. If you're not aware, you know, uh, it helps to know what's happening around, because by those days I was a bit of a rascal. I was all over the place, all over the street. So he was like, yeah, there's a lot of all kinds of things, kidnappings and stuff like that. And he said, and he just happened to use that as an example. Like, it's like, for example, there's these guys that will meet you in places like Park Station, and they will be asking you questions like this and this and this. And I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like the dude. That sounds like that dude. That sounds like that guy. That the guy that is describing sounds like the guy that met me and was offering me all these things. So I'm like, wait, the guy you were talking about, how does he look? Because the things that he was saying, the guy says to the people that he tries to kidnap, um, line by line, was literally the things that guy was saying to me. Line by line. It's like it was working off of a script. And I'm like, dude, you know what you're describing? So the person that was telling me this, by the way, was not related to me. And it was just a conversation. I just can't remember the guy or where I know him from. Oh, but it just happened to be a conversation that we were in. He had been there with some other people, and the other people left, and he happened to be the last person there, and we continued talking even when we didn't know each other. Like, no, describe the guy. And he says, yeah, he wears a black suit. I'm like, wait, black suit, does it have like light stripe, yellow, light stripe gray lines? And it's like, you nailed it. I'm like, the guy has dreadlocks. He's like, yes. It's like the guy is a little bit sus. It's a little bit flamboyant. It's a little bit too much. Yeah, on character. He's like a little bit off. Like, the voice is a little bit too soft. Like, I'm like, dude, the exact guy you're talking about is the exact guy that I met. And he's like, what did you say? And I was like, nah, he sounded weird to me. I just left. I just left. And so, and he's like, yeah, you made a dodgy one because that guy is involved with a lot of very dodgy people and stuff like that. And I was just baffled at the way, one advice: don't take anything from anybody. When someone is trying to give you something, bear in mind that they might have a hook line or something to kind of like hook you in. but be careful of things. We have to educate our young people about these type of things that are out there that they might not be aware of. I think this is quite a wild one, but this episode right here is just a reminder that things like this are out there. Just one little point of advice might help somebody out there. It's Ricky's Actuality Show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. And if you are a young person watching this stuff, be very careful. Don't take things at face value, because what you see sometimes might not be what it looks. It might get other people, not just you. Maybe you want to get in trouble, but it might get other people in trouble. Be careful, be on the lookout. The Bible says, your adversary, the devil, looks for whom he might devour. So be on the lookout, be vigilant. It's Ricky, and I'll see you later. Y'all have a good one. Salute.